I'm Rebecca Brand, and I just went to Vietnam. The year is 2019. Ho Chi Minh City has a population of 9 million people. It's the capital of Vietnam. It has many different religions: Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism. There's 10% of the population that's Roman Catholic in Vietnam. James Bauer is sponsoring this video so I can bring it to you. James is a best-selling author and relationship expert who has helped thousands of women find exceptional, amazing men, and also helps to strengthen and rebuild existing relationships you might have. If your man has started pulling away and is distant, or if you want to know what he secretly really wants from you, then James Bauer can help. Make sure to check out his free video on the relationship secret ingredient so you can find out what men really want and how to use that so that you can have the love you desire. This secret ingredient is what a man craves to feel intense desire in a relationship, for committed love. And I've gone ahead and put the link in the description, so check it out. Here's my trip to Vietnam. Well, I love coffee, and I started every day with Vietnamese coffee, because that's a huge culture there. Weasel coffee is a specialty. I had to try it. It's from a critter's behind that eats the coffee beans. It was delicious, I had to say, but not every cup I had was Weasel coffee. They had other varieties too, thank goodness. The way they serve it is with sweetened condensed milk. I went up a fast-speed boat ride up a river to Cu Chi. We went under bridges, and I saw the industry of creating sand and all the barges along the way to supply Asia with a raw material for the booming construction. Along the banks of the river, I saw many of the types of real estate development they had. Some shacks and some nice buildings. Arriving in Cu Chi, a tour guide told us about what we were about to see, which were the underground tunnels from the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War. These tunnels, though, had been built 20 years prior, and they were just augmented during the Vietnam War. The Viet Cong guerrillas underground created a whole society in order to stand hold during the Vietnam War.
And usually when they get in, before that, they put the lips all over, and then they hold the handle, they rise like this.
Too claustrophobic, eh?
Way too claustrophobic.
This young man from our tour was skinny and was able to get down that tunnel. Then they invited me to try it out. I found a larger tunnel that was easier for me to walk down some stairs, but still, it was very, very haunting to think people actually live down here. It was a very sombering tour. I saw the booby traps that they had made. They had lots of different styles of them, and then a guide showed us how they worked. This emotionally was terribly difficult to see during this tour. So many people were affected on all sides with the Vietnam War.
Sorry, you have to look at this.
In this village you see, these huts are put over underground kitchens because they could only cook when there was heavy mist in the morning, because they wouldn't want the smoke from the cooking to be seen. They would cook in advance and retreat back underground. After that, I needed some meditation and relaxation, so I went to the spa area of Vietnam. And I took advantage of a lot of spa services that day. I was served a whole tray of high tea snacks. That was the therapy I needed after that war tour. And off I went to some retail therapy after that. I found this great orange fabric that I loved. The Vietnamese are known for their tailoring. So I found a fabric I wanted. I chose the bright pink. I did more sightseeing during my trip to the post office in Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh's portrait is there, and in this post office is a 97-year-old man that spent his whole life there because he was educated and can read and write different languages, and he dedicated his life to the people of Ho Chi Minh City so that they could communicate with loved ones far and wide internationally. In any language they needed, he knew a number of languages. He was literate, whereas 80% of the population in his day were not. It was a delight to meet him.
I thank you because it knew.
That's so wonderful. I think one of the most dramatic things about Ho Chi Minh City was the number of motorcyclists. In the country of Vietnam, there are 40 million registered motorcycles. They are everywhere, and it's actually frightening to try to cross the streets. No way was I going to try that without a guide. Factoid: one man on a motorcycle can only have one female over the age of 18. You can have as many kids as you want, and they don't have to wear helmets. But you may not have another young lady. They wanted to do that in preservation of relationships. Now, I don't understand that, but that's just the way the law reads. The motorcycles way outnumbered the number of cars on the road. In the year 2030, they will be outlawed in Ho Chi Minh City as they're putting in a subway system. The Binh Thanh Market is the largest in Ho Chi Minh City. Motorcycles do drive-by buyings there. The way they displayed their meat was amazing to me. But I loved the fresh fruits everywhere. They were gorgeous. All kinds of things. There was dragon fruit, lychees, and lots I couldn't even identify. I see some pomelos in there too. But it was so much and so delicious, and they were so ripe and wonderful. What a delight, so colorful. The fresh flowers were also gorgeous. I've always loved poultry, so I was so excited to see all the different kind of eggs they had. They had duck eggs, quail eggs, chicken eggs, every kind of egg, every kind of size. It was so fun looking at them. And then I found this blue crate, and all of those were duck eggs. They were huge. The fish is displayed on huge blocks of ice to keep it cold. All kinds of varieties were everywhere. And you can take your motorcycle and buy the fish too. And walking in the market, you had to dodge the motorcycles. I met a lovely mother and daughter who owned a pearl shop. The mom strung the pearls to order by the inch that you wanted for your necklace. So I got a few necklaces, and she made them for me, and she showed me how they made them. One of the highlights of my trip was hanging out with her and watching her make these necklaces. I toured the Vinh Nghiem Buddhist Pagoda. It was filled with religious art, lots of sculpture and carvings. Entering it, you had to pass by the turtle pond with 75-year-old turtles that this Buddhist temple was taking care of for the rest of their days. That's eternity, I think, with all the babies they had too. The sense of peace overcomes you as you walk into it. The candles are lit. And you can even participate by putting peanut oil onto a flame. And then the custom is to ring the bell. So I did. On the wall were carvings that told the story of Buddhism. And from what I understood from my guide, is that you're to lead a good life, because when you come back next time, you don't want to come back an animal. And if you're a man, you might come back as a woman. And so this seems like to be the history of equal rights, carved there on the wall. My favorite Vietnamese dish was the egg and rice flour, something that looked like an omelet. It was delicious. I hope you've enjoyed my visit to Vietnam. Thanks for watching.